The letter arrived on a Tuesday. It was addressed to me, but the sender had been dead for 30 years. My name is Daniel Holt. I grew up in a quiet village called Ashford, deep in the English countryside. It was the kind of place where nothing ever happened, where everyone knew everyone, where secrets stayed buried. I had left Ashford at 18 and never looked back, but the letter changed everything. Inside was one single line. "Come back, Daniel, before it's too late. The house is waiting for you." It was signed by my grandmother, Eleanor Holt, who had died in 1994. Against every logical thought in my mind, I went back. The village looked exactly as I remembered: the stone church, the narrow roads, the smell of rain on old cobblestones. But the people looked at me differently. When I stopped at the local shop to ask about the letter, the old woman behind the counter went pale. She whispered just 3 words: "Don't go inside." Then she turned away and refused to speak another word. Ashford Manor sat at the edge of the village like a forgotten giant. The iron gate was rusted but unlocked, as if someone had opened it recently. The garden was wild and overgrown. Every window was dark except one. On the top floor, a single candle flickered. My grandmother's old room. I stood at the gate for a long time. Then I walked in. The front door was open. Inside, everything was covered in dust and silence. Old portraits lined the hallway, generations of the Holt family staring down at me with painted eyes. I noticed something strange immediately. Every portrait had been turned slightly, just enough so that every face was looking at the staircase, as if they were all watching something go up. I followed their gaze, and that's when I heard it. Footsteps, slow, deliberate footsteps, coming from directly above me. I climbed the stairs slowly, each step creaking beneath my weight. The hallway on the top floor was long and narrow. At the far end, one door was open, just slightly. Warm candlelight spilled through the gap. I pushed the door open. The room was exactly as I remembered from childhood: the wooden dresser, the lace curtains, the smell of lavender, and on the small table by the window, a stack of letters, dozens of them, all addressed to me, all in my grandmother's handwriting. The top one was dated last week. My hands were shaking as I opened the first letter. The handwriting was perfect, exactly like hers, but the words made my blood turn cold. "Daniel, they told you I was dead. I was not dead. I was hidden. There is something beneath this house that they did not want anyone to find. Something they buried with me. I have been trying to warn you for years, but they kept sending the letters back. This time, I found another way." I turned the page, and at the bottom, in fresher ink, almost still wet, were 4 words: "I am still here." Behind the dresser was a door I had never seen as a child. Small, wooden, half hidden behind the furniture. It opened onto a stone staircase that went down into darkness. I used my phone as a torch and descended carefully. The air grew cold with every step. At the bottom was a single room, stone walls, no windows, and in the corner a wooden box, old, sealed with a heavy lock. Around it, arranged in a careful circle, were dozens of melted candles and a single chair facing the box, as if someone had been sitting there, waiting for a very long time. Inside the box were documents, land records, legal papers, and photographs. One photograph stopped me completely. It showed my grandmother, young, smiling, standing beside a man I did not recognize. On the back, in her handwriting, were the words, "They took everything from us, the land, the truth. If you are reading this, it means you are ready to know. The manor does not belong to the village council. It never did. It belongs to you, Daniel, and they have known that all along. 30 years. She had hidden this truth for 30 years, and people had let the world believe she was gone, just to keep it buried. I walked out of Ashford Manor as the sun was rising. The village was waking up slowly, curtains moving, lights flickering on. I knew that by evening, everyone would know I had been inside. I also knew that things were about to change. I had the documents, I had the photographs, and I had 30 years of my grandmother's letters, each one a piece of a truth that someone had worked very hard to hide. She had never stopped trying to reach me, and now, finally, I was listening. As I reached the iron gate, I looked back at the manor one last time. In the top window, the candle was gone. But for just a moment, I was certain I saw someone standing there, smiling. Some secrets are buried to protect the powerful. Some truths wait patiently for the right person to finally come home.
Fiction disclaimer. All characters, places, and events in this story are entirely fictional and created for entertainment purposes only. Cliffside Stories.